Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the round 2 of the Tata Steel Chess 2025 tournament. This event is taking place in Wykense, in a very beautiful city in Netherlands, and and don't go by the beauty of the country because the players, the participants are playing such amazing chess in this event. From the round 1, we saw some action-packed games with Gukesh Anish, let's for example, Hari Krishna and Arjun. I mean, and I was so excited, I was so hyped up with the round 2 games, and we indeed got some action-packed results as well. So let's not waste any more time and let's jump right into the games. So I'm going to show you some insane, crazy games. Oh, oops, sorry, I was analyzing. And stay tuned, stay tuned. Some action, crazy games are going to be seen. So, Gukesh, we have the first game, the world champion, who scored his, I don't know what to say, what game was that against Anish, but he scored his first win somehow, and it was a crazy game against Anish. And I've made the recap on the round 1, so make sure to check out. Today he's facing Vladimir Fedosev, who managed who hold a draw in the first round. But today, since he's playing with the white pieces, maybe he's eyeing to win the first game. So win the game. So Kukesh playing against the Fedosev, and Fedosev plays the move d4. Starts off with d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, and now d5. Now this is like a queen's gambit, declined variation, after knight c3, and after pawn takes c4, now allowing white to control the center, take control of the center, and now b5. Now b5 is giving away, like Ukesh is like, okay, I want to give away my pawn because obviously that's an extra pawn. So after but first Vladimir Fedosev, who is the big fish on chess.com. He plays absolutely like fish. So first he attacks Gokesh's knight, and here Gokesh played a surprising move. Not surprising, not here, but knight d5 after knight d5. Knight takes b5, and now here this was the first surprise. Knight b6. So knight d5, knight b6, and look at this knight's journey. Now knight b6 idea is to defend the pawn. Just knight goes back, developing the knight on c6, bishop e3, bishop b7, bishop e2. Both sides are just developing, and this is the move. Not this knight, but this knight. This knight. Knight e7 is an insane idea. Like, first of all, it's a very rare move. No one really plays this move like this at this level. Knight e7. Idea is to go knight f5. You can even go knight g6, whatever, but knight f5 seems more accurate because after knight f5 you are attacking this bishop and putting some pressure on this pawn. So after b3, first Kukish took the pawn, queen takes, and on knight f5, following the idea, bishop e5 check, but c3, c6 defending the check, and after bishop d3, bishop e7 preparing to short castle, and after castles, white castles, instead of castling first, Kukish decided here to chop off the bishop. After pawn takes, now he decided to castle because now the idea is simple. Idea is to go knight d5. Idea is to simply go knight d5, but not now. First you play rook b8 and then you go knight d5. So knight to e4, rook b8, as I said, he's playing the idea. So now after knight c5, here I don't know why Vladimir Fedosev played knight c5, because knight c5 you can just take, and after pawn takes just play knight e5. That's what the idea was. Pawn takes 95, and now queen to a3. Now if you look at this position, like if you take a first glance at this position, white is having a great position, to be honest. Look at the piece activity. White got this active, very super solid, super strong bishop on d3 for controlling the entire diagonal. This queen is also doing a good job here defending the pawn. The rooks are going to get active. This knight is also super active, and it can jump to d4 anytime. And white is having an excellent position. Black on the other side, I would say, like, okay, the knight is looking good on d5, but what about the queen? The queen doesn't have a great square except for c7, which is a bad square. What are you going to achieve there? f6 is controlled by this pawn, and these two squares are controlled by this knight. The queen can't come to a5 because the queen has taken the dominance over this rank. So now what Kokesh does is plays a5. He is like, okay, I'm going to play some moves. Rook, rook d1. So preparing, as you can see, preparing preparing some tactics. So bishop takes h7 is a threat because after king takes, just e4, simply e4. That's the idea. So queen c7, bishop c4, knight comes to p4, and suddenly the position seems quite good for both sides now. Because now look, the rook has got an outpost on d6, great square. Bishop a6, trying to trade off the bishops. Bishop takes, knight takes, rook c4, rook c1, and knight b4. h3, trying to trying. I mean, there's no back rank obviously, but just h3, preparing for g4 in the future. Queen to a7, e4, and now queen a6. The queen can jump to b5 anytime when the knight is attacked. For example, if rook d4, if rook d4, then queen b5, and let's say if rook c4, then you can play simply knight a6. So that's so king f2, h6, and the idea is for h6 is simple, just making sure that there is no back rank issue in future. Rook c3, a4, rook d4, queen b5. As I said earlier, this was the idea. Rook c4, and now knight comes to a6. King g3, and now rook d8, offering a rook trade. Rook takes pawn, rook takes rook, knight takes, and now just queen takes c5. You win back the pawn. Queen takes, knight takes, and now this is a draw because now white got some white got some these two weakness, double pawn weakness. This pawn is, even though is going to get lost, but yeah, I mean there is nothing much in the position. Like knight takes c6, now you always got rook b6, and wherever the knight goes, like knight has, if let's say, I don't know, like, I mean, yeah, I mean you can't go there because the rook is hanging obviously. So knight e7 check, king f8, rook c5 attacking, rook c4 attacking the knight, but you just simply take on e4 with a check. You can just simply take down e4 because of the rook takes, king takes knight, you win back the pawn, and now just it's a matter of time, and king f8, king f3, and after king e7, both players, Kukesh and Fedosev, agreed to a draw. I mean, this was an insane, not insane I would say, but this was not a very fun position. Like, although Fedossi had some edge in the position with some activity, but yeah, very difficult to convert against a world champion who is prepared in this tournament. Very well prepared, Mukesh. And with that, let's jump on to the next game. The next game was a crazy one. Nordirberg versus Leon Mendonca. Leon Mendonca had a tough start. Like in the round one, he was winning completely against Vincent Keimer, just one move blunder, and he was about to get mated. So that was a very tough loss for him. Today, he's playing with the Black Pieces against the very strong player of the tournament, Nordirberg up to Sataro. And here, oops, sorry. Here, Nordirberg starts off with e4. And here, Mendonca replies with e6. So we got the French defense. Now, normally against French, I usually play b3. I usually play b3, bishop b2, and I stay happy in the position. But obviously, at this level, you just play simple advanced variation. Got the advance. Now here normally, by the way guys, you play bishop e3, you play bishop d3, you play so many developing moves, you can play bishop e2, but here not people plays a4. I mean an early a4 we see. This is a surprising blow. This is the first surprising blow we ever seen in this game. And now, if you haven't seen this, if you think like this is the big surprising blow, then watch what happens next. Takes, pawn takes, and knight to h6. I mean, what the hell? I mean, come on, bro. Bishop takes h6, ruining the pawn structure. This is what we usually play. But here he went bishop b5. Nordirberg is like, okay, I consider development over anything. So knight c3, bishop e bishop d7, castles, ace is attacking the bishop. Bishop takes knight, obviously the only move. Bishop takes, And now simply knight e2. Now knight e2 idea is simple. Knight e2, knight g3. This is what the idea is. You can play queen c2 at some point. You can even play queen d3 for not getting into some rook c8 complications. So bishop e7, b3, and now long castle. This this was a very risky play from Leon because now you can play knight c3. You can play queen c2 as I said. Queen c2. You can play queen d3. Activate the position. Bishop a3. So many things. You can play bishop d2. Trying to go for some a5, b4 ideas. Like so many things you can do. And which is what exactly played by Nordirbeck. Bishop d2. King b8. Now b4. As I said, b4, a5. Everything is coming now. Rook c8. And now rook ba. Rook ba. Even though it's a mistake, but it's not a mistake because it's on a human perspective, it's the best. It's a great move because now you are targeting b5. You're going to play b5. Bishop to c7, b5, a takes b5, again pawn takes, rook c4, queen to b3. Even though Leon is trying to develop his position, but it's very tough. Even though he gave away the one pawn, he even given one pawn. Although the idea is simple, knight takes pawn is there. So, but h3, h5. So this is what happening. Nordirbeck is fighting on this side, and Leon is fighting on this side. Both sides are like like in boxing, punching each other. Pawn. So here, Nordirbeck is like, okay, I accept the gambit. Rook b4, queen comes to a2. Now simply you can just trade off. So rook takes pawn first. Knight to g3. As I said, the knight will come to g3 and eventually. Bishop takes, and now knight takes first. Pawn takes knight, and knight takes bishop. Now this is hanging. This is coming. This is a target. I mean, so many things are in the packet. The rook is coming on c1. Everything is coming. Queen takes, queen takes d4, and a rook a1. Look at this. Boom. Queen a, queen a8 is coming. How are you going to stop it? King comes to c7, but now rook c. I mean, knight takes pawn is also fine, but also rook f c1 check is also there. So many things are coming. But not in Pakistan. I like free pawns. I can make him suffer a bit. Rook g8 now. Rook c1. Rook c1 can also be played. Anything can be played. Knight d6. Simply rook c1 is the idea. Nordirbeck is just absolutely butchering Leon Mendonca. Rook b4, queen to a5 check, queen comes to b6, queen takes pawn, attacking now the rook is hanging, rook f c1 is coming, rook comes to d8, and after knight c4, here black resigned because I mean, how will you play this position? Rook c1 is coming, so many things are coming. Whatever you play, everything is coming. Also, the knight on d6 is looking juicy as well at some point. Knight a5, everything is coming. Like first of all, rook c1 is coming. Rook c1 is a very strong threat. So what a game by Nordirbeck. He absolutely butchered Leon Mendonca on the board. And with that, Leon Mendonca is still struggling to find his first win or even a draw. Score his first some points in this tournament. So yeah, I hope he fights hard and gets some points in the third round. And meanwhile, we jump on the next game. Fabiano Caruana versus Jordan Belfort. This game was absolutely nuts. As like Fabiano Caruana, as we say, is a calculating machine with chess. So here he starts off with d4, d5, knight f3, and e6. So this is like a Zuckerberg version. I used to play this when online, when there was lockdown. I had learned this opening: bishop f4, c5, and e3. Normal move, normal stuff. Bishop b5 is coming. Even bishop d3 or bishop e2 might come. Try to short castle. Knight to c6, c3, making the center super strong. Bishop d6 offering a bishop trade. Bishop goes back. Knight a, knight f6. Bishop to d3 and castles. And now knight d2. Knight bd2. White doesn't even castles yet. What White is thinking is he wants to, I guess, wants to long castle. He wants to go knight d2, knight d2, and queen c2, trying to put some activity on this diagonal. So this is what happened. like after b6, queen e2, not queen c2, because again the idea is to go bishop e5 at some point. Bishop e7 takes, and now e5 e4. Fabiano is like, okay, enough is enough. I will play in the center. I'll try to open up rook b8, and now e5, attacking the bishop. Bishop goes to c7. Now Fabiano can almost stop castles. Knight f5. You can now here there are a lot of things you can take. You have to take the knight. You can take the knight. Try to go for e6 ideas at some point. Like after rook e1, e6. But here Fabi plays bishop f4. Bishop f4 is like kind of going to bishop g5 ideas. Bishop c4 has been played. Bishop c2. Not even, still not taking the knight. Still not grabbing the knight. Bishop e6. Rook b1. And now t4. Now Jordan is like, now I want to open up the center. I want to go for the center, and now I'm threatening d3. Obviously, you have to. Again, yeah, so Fabiano Caruana won't fall for that trick. He took on c4. Now queen d5 seemingly like, okay, I can win the knight, but you always got b3. So b3 played by Fabiano takes. Rook d1, attacking black's queen. Queen c5. Now he took the pawn. No, sorry. Now he took the knight. He decided to take the knight now, because now after queen c2, idea is rook d7, rook d1 is coming very soon. Gotta be careful. And here, look at this. Look at this move. Gangster move. Queen, bishop takes c4. Now, normally, what we people do? Okay, we will just now. Okay, we will take back as ASAP. But no, boom. Queen takes c3. The queen is a loose piece. Take advantage of the loose piece, and now I mean we can win the bishop. And now bishop b6. Jordan is thinking like, oh man, I got my eyes on f2, but he always got bishop e3, bishop e3, and indeed, Fabiano Caruana won't miss these moves. Queen b4, queen takes bishop, queen takes, pawn takes, and now Fabiano is just a pawn up. Bishop takes, pawn takes, h6, getting rid of some future back rank issues. Rook b5, rook b8, rook b1 is coming, and knight d4 can also come, trying to strengthen the center. Rook c8, king f2, king f5, and now rook d8, 6. Fabiano is playing on activity. He's absolutely playing on activity, slowly dominating this position. Knight d4, 8, and a knight d4 simply, and yeah, after g6 here, rook takes rook, rook takes b8, and now c5. This is a passer, guys. This is a passer. How will you stop this passer? How will you stop this passer? Knight to b7, rook d8, rook d5, defending the rook, and after c6, Jordan here resigned the game, because let's say you go rook c8, you always go rook d, let's say rook d6, and the idea is to go e6 at some point. What a game! Amazing game by Fabiano. This was such a slow positional play by Fabiano. He went on to he went on He went on to just win, not only win the pawn, but also what a way to convert this position. Jordan here was trying to play for the activity as well, but his all the pieces were on king's side. And when the dust settled, what a game by Fabiano to convert this. And Fabiano kept his hopes on this pawn itself. And this pawn helped Fabi to win the match. What a game! But now we got an exciting game coming up. Are you guys ready for it? Prague versus Hari Krishna. This is the game of the, like, I don't know, this is the game of the video, main game of this video. We all been waiting for e4. Hare Krishna, who he played amazing against Arjun. He gave up his queen and went on to win against Arjun with two rooks and a knight. I mean, what a game by Hare Krishna. Prague, Prague is playing against Hare Krishna. Prague, and Hare Krishna was also the mentor and I guess a coach of Kukesh during his World Championship. So, and we got the two Indians playing. It's always exciting. e4. Prague starts off with c5. So Prague is like, I'm prepared with Sicilian. Knight f3, knight 6, bishop e5, knight f6, and queen c7, and now this is just completely equal. This is like a Rosalimo attack. This is like a Rosalimo attack, castle, close Sicilian, we can say. In the other words, knight d4, rook e1, a6, attacking the bishop. Bishop went all the way back to his home square. Look at this. What a move. What a move by Hare Krishna. It's like trolling Prague. That. And also, look at this. Look at this. Look at Prague's troll as well. Immediately when Hare Krishna went bishop f1, like it's like a trolling move, we say. Look at Prague. He's like, I am gonna mega troll you, Hare Krishna. Now I'm gonna threaten knight takes f3 and boom, mate. Hare Krishna's like, bro, you won't get a chance. g3. Prague is like, okay, I will stick take the knight, and after queen takes, knight e5 attacking the queen with a tempo, queen e2, and now just simply e6. Bishop is open. Sorry, bishop is open. Trying to go, preparing to launch short castles, and after d6, bishop e3, knight c6. Now this position is simply very easy for black to play. Black can play bishop d7. Black can play bishop e7. So many things. After f4, bishop e7, queen f2, short castle, bishop g2, bishop d7. So far so good. Look at Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna is like, I'm coming for you, Prague. I'm coming with these 3 pawns. How are you going to stop them? Prague is like, I don't care about those pawns. I'm gonna play on queen side. I'm gonna put some attack here. Hare Krishna is like, okay, if you ignore, I will bring my other pawn. I will bring my other pawn, and how are you going to play against these 4 of my mightiest pawns? Prague is like, okay, let's see. I will wait for your pawns to come. Knight to d4, rook c1, and a rook e8. Prague is slowly but surely improvising his position. Knight comes to e2, threatening to trade off the knights. Knight takes, rook takes, and now d5. Prague now tells Hare Krishna, I mean not verbally, but on in the position, your these pawns are nothing compared to my these 3 pawns. And Hare Krishna is like, okay, g5. And I'm like, okay, d4. Bishop goes back, and now c4. Who is gonna play? Who is gonna push his pawn? Who is gonna win with these pawns? Who is gonna win this game? Both sides are playing for the win. c3. Now I have to stop your pawn. And he's like, okay, takes, rook takes. Now here I guess what Hare Krishna should have done. He should have taken with the bishop. Bishop takes e3 seems like a good move for me because bishop is kind of controlling this diagonal. But okay, rook takes f6, trying to break open. Sorry, break open the. And now g6. Hare Krishna is like, okay, I'm gonna offer you 1 pawn. Right? He's like, okay, I will take it happily. Pawn takes, b3, trying to win back the pawn. Simply bishop c5 first, attacking the queen, and also the queen. Obviously, the only move is bishop e3. Bishop e3, bishop takes, rook takes, g5. Boom, 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 boom. This is coming. Hare Krishna doesn't allow this. He doesn't like this. So f5, queen f4, asking Hare Krishna, you want to trade off queens, buddy? He's like, for nope. First, I will take. I want you to trade queens with me. I want you to trade on my terms. So he took on g5 first. So I'll probably like, okay, whatever you say, sir. Queen takes f2, king takes, and pawn takes on b3. Pawn takes, and now pawn takes on g5, and now Prague is up a pawn. Remember, Hare Krishna had given a pawn on g6. So now this endgame, Prague is going to go for the win. So rook c7, bishop e4, bishop h3, trying to put some pressure here. Prague is like, okay, I will take the pawn. Pawn takes, and now look at this: rook takes, and now rook d8, trying some boom ideas. Bishop g4, and now rook d7. Prague is like, I want to trade off the queens, and I want to win this endgame with a pawn up. Rook c8 check, king f5, king f7, b4. b4 was not b4. I don't know why it says it's a bad move because b4 is a good move. But okay, you can because you are always defending the pawn by rook d3 check. So king f6, rook f rook f8 check, rook f7, and now rook b8. Rook b8 is a mistake. Why? Because which I also because rook c7. Yes, rook c7. I know why it's a mistake because after rook c7, rook c4 is coming. How are you going to defend this? How are you going to defend this? The king can't come on d3. So rook c7, rook b6. So Prague is still determined to trade off the rooks. But rook b7 now. So now rook c3 check first, king f2, and now rook t3. Rook t3 instead I would say, as I said, rook c4 would have been the winning move because bishop is hanging, pawn is hanging. How are you going to win this? So rook t3, bishop h5, and now rook t7. Prague is so determined. He's so desperate to trade off the rooks. But here Hari Krishna blundered. You see the red question marks. Rook b8, because now king takes f5. You took the pawn. You lost the pawn. Rook f8 check. King e5. Bishop g6. King d4. Now this pawn. Who is going to defend this pawn? This is a game plan by Prague. Prague is like, okay, hi Krishna, you know what? I will give away these two pawns, but I will go with this pawn and I'm going to make a pass on it. Rook c8, trying to stop the king from entering the file, but rook d6 attacking the bishop and now threatening to rook c6 again. Bishop h5, rook c6, rook g8 attacking the g7 pawn. Rook defended by rook c7. Now king g3, king c3, and yeah, and Ankusha lost another pawn. Now this is just game over. Prague is just too much on uh, is up too much of pawns, and after a5, here Hari Krishna decided to resign because there is no stopping of this pawn. Prague always got rook c6, rook k6 idea, so and there you got no checks. You got no checks, buddy. What an absolute amazing, brutal game by Pragnananda. Like he got the chance. Hari Krishna here, he you gave like Hari Krishna gave Prague some chance, and Prague just took it. Prague is like, okay, I'm gonna convert it. You gave away too many pawns. That's why you should never give away some pawns without confirming whether it's good to give away those pawns. Like, okay, the g6 sacrifice was understandable, but these pawns I would say it's a blunder. But yeah. But anyways, that was some amazing games. I hope you enjoyed this recap. Round three will be very interesting. Round three, I am very excited, and let's see how our Indian stars do. I was about to show the Arjun Agassi and Anish Giri game as well, but yeah, I will show it in the another part. But yeah, that's all I got. I mean, I'm having super fun following this tournament. I hope you guys are following at home, or whether you are at the tournament hall, wherever you are. Do follow Tata Steel, and make sure to make an account on Outpost Chess platform if you want to play and win and earn money. So yeah, that's all I got for you today. You know the rules. Get out of here.